Okay, this is the Craftsman machine I put together last summer. As you can see, the engine is torn apart. The battery is out of it. I'm in the process of replacing the choke cable. Also, I got to bypass one of the safety switches. The seat safety has already been bypassed. I need to bypass the spark safety on the clutch. I do want to keep the clutch as the start safety, but half the switch has gone open. So basically it will work when you put the foot down on the brake, but it will not work. It basically doesn't give you spark when you're cranking the engine over. So the safety switch, half of it's gone open internally. So I'm going to dig into that, hopefully try and fix that. So you can see the ground wire right there has been cut. As you can see, it has a nice shiny new carburetor on it. I was having fuel issues. Basically, it started dumping a lot of gas in the cylinder. It was acting up a lot. So I went on Amazon, bought a carburetor. Probably was kind of the last thing I should have done. But internally, the original carburetor actually did not look very good. So it was only 25 bucks. So I did a compression test. The compression test came back at nearly 150 psi, which is way too high for these engines. These engines should run anywhere from 100 to 120 psi. So from the research I've done, too high of compression will definitely cause a running issue and will use a lot more fuel. So basically this uses a vacuum fuel pump pulled off of the dipstick, and it was basically bringing in way too much fuel. So it was overwhelming the carburetor with fuel. I have not done a compression test as of yet to see if I got the number back down to a more reasonable number. I also swapped out the ignition coil with that one right there. When I was running it yesterday, it would run, and all of a sudden it just shut off, like too hot of an ignition coil. So I'm not sure if that was an issue or not. It could have been all related to the actual fuel issues the machine was having. So I'm probably going to swap back on the original. It's not that hard to get these ones off on these style of engines. 4 bolts, remove the fuel pump mount, and you're in, sort of thing. So I'm probably going to go back to the one that was on here and try it out. Right now it'll actually start and run the way it should, but it'll run perfectly fine and then it just starts running really bad. I'll have to wait and see once I get running again, see if I can do a video of it running, and I'll show what it's doing. A lot of cranking needed to start this engine. This engine has always been very easy to start. Basically one hit and it's running. Not lately, unfortunately. Absolute worst case scenario, since I need this machine to run and work, I have another engine. That's worst, absolute worst case scenario. So it's Sunday right now. I need this machine for Thursday. So I got really rest of today and tomorrow. You know, it's currently snowing, which I'll show in a second, to basically try and get this diagnosed and try and get this fixed. The wiring issue isn't a big deal at the moment, but I am going to take care of it, so it's good to go. I just mainly need to try and get this up and running, because the only alternate machine I have to use is my Ford, and it's a pig on gas. So I really don't want to use the Ford. I'd rather use this machine right here. So I'm going to continue. Hopefully I can get the issue solved. I'll do another compression test later on as well. So it's got a new plug, new carburetor. I've changed the oil a few different times. I'm probably going to have to change the oil yet again. I swapped out the fuel pump thinking, okay, maybe the fuel pump is causing an issue. It was backfeeding fuel. So the original fuel pump that was on here was causing issues. It was allowing fuel to go through without being in use. So only problem is the replacement engine I have doesn't have a fuel pump. So I'd have to mount a tank up there where the battery goes, put the battery sideways, try and shove a fuel tank in there sideways as well temporarily until I get a clicky clack on here, since I would rather use the rear tank versus a tank under the hood. So that's what I've been working on the last few days, trying to get this thing back up and running and make it happy yet again. I like this engine since it's pull start and electric start, so it's a nice feature to have, especially for where I use this machine. If the battery ends up going dead for whatever reason, you do have a backup. So that's, like I said, that's what I've been working on. This is what my update is. Weather, like I said, hasn't been the greatest. I've been doing a few things, but I'm waiting on parts on other projects, and this is kind of a priority project. It needs to get back up and running. So here's our winter wonderland currently. We got dumped on the other day with a lot of snow. Actually last Friday, so 2 days ago. Real heavy wet snow first, and then we got the fluffy snow on top. Luckily I was on top of it. I got all the wet snow cleared before the fluffy snow came, and the snowblower thanked me for it basically. Probably gonna have to go out and snowblow again in a bit, but yeah, this is what we're currently dealing with. Underneath the big green tarp is my Ford, the engine test stand with the Kawasaki engine. The parts have been ordered for the Kawasaki, new sump and gaskets. The black trailer's under there too, and the snowblower's behind me in the garage, so it's staying dry in the garage. But as you can see, we are dealing with a winter wonderland currently. So anyways, that's pretty much what I've been up to, trying to get this up and running, working on the Kawasaki a bit, but now, like I said, I'm waiting on parts on that. So this is just a quick general update. When it's snowing like this, you can't really get much done, so that's why I'm trying to do as much as I can and release as many new videos as I can, even though this video here, to be honest, I don't know when this video will be released. The short will be released sometime in February, which it currently is February 2nd. But the long video you guys are watching right now, that snow will probably be gone by the time this video gets released. So we'll have to wait and see. It might get released sometime in March or April. I really don't know. Just have to wait and see. So I'll talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.